Are you prepared for takeoff? Have you already bought your ticket, ready to go to some exotic destination? Well, let's see just how prepared you are. In this airplane survivor kit training guide, I'm going to share with you how to use your kit when you receive it for sanitizing and disinfecting your area while you're traveling. Now, I know a lot of you who have never gone on an international trip have never considered things like the area you'll be sitting in, how much exposure you'll be getting to other people who may have sicknesses that are traveling along with you. But I want you to take that into consideration because you spent a lot of money and you saved all of your ducats so that you could travel and you want to get to your destination well. I mean, getting off for the holidays from work, you might not mind getting off for being sick, but you don't want to spend thousands of dollars to go overseas only to find yourself spending even 1 minute of your vacation in the emergency room. Well, I am here to try to help you avoid that. And my airplane survivor kit is just what you need to help carry you through a long flight and even for a short flight, because let's face it, if you can avoid being sick, why not? So with my airplane survivor kit, the whole goal is to keep your area disinfected and to keep your area safe from airborne bacteria, germs, and disease. So let's start talking. So now what we're going to talk about is the first thing that's in your kit that you want to use. Now, before I go into a lot of detail on that, I want to first kind of start by talking about what kind of bag you may want to get. Now, I know that it is cheaper to get the 2-wheel bags, but I am going to encourage you because remember, they're charging you for every bag you have to put in underneath. So you may find that the bag that you have to carry on with you might get a little bit heavy. And the heavier it gets, the more you're going to appreciate it being able to basically float on its own. So I assure you, the extra 2 legs that they get, or 2 wheels that they get with a 4-wheel driver is exactly what you're going to want to have. Now, it does cost a little bit more, but in this case, I mean, I am big on pitching pennies, but sometimes it's better to splurge, especially when you're talking about your bag. So I highly recommend getting the 4-wheel carry-on if you can, because it's going to come in handy. It being able to stand up on its own and be sturdy as more weight gets on it is going to be a tremendous blessing when you're waiting in line to get on your plane. And it's going to give you a little bit more liberty so that in the event you need 4 legs, you have 4 legs. And you can easily grab the things that you're going to need because you're only going to have a few seconds to implement this fail-safe plan. Now, if you haven't seen my 5 must-have carry-on items that everyone should take on an airplane trip, then I highly recommend you start there because these are just the things you can do to disinfect the area you're going to be sitting in. This does not cover the other things that you can do that can help keep you well. It also doesn't cover the fact that the only thing you have to worry about, especially on the international travel, if you're internationally traveling and you're going to be in a plane for more than 4 or 6 hours, is the fact that you also have to deal with certain things like deep vein thrombosis and having issues with your heart. You don't want to have no pulmonary issues. I assure you, you want to be able to get there and be well. So, but all of that is covered in my 5 must-haves carry-on items. This particular teaching is just about how you can effectively use your airplane survivor kit. Now, the first thing you're going to use, and you're going to see in your kit that you can either put on your belt or put around your neck, because you're going to want to have access to this quickly. You're going to want to, in fact, if possible, as soon as you're in line before you get on the plane, have that Thieves disinfectant cleaner in your hand. After they ask you for all the identification that you're going to need, such as your passport and your electronic ticket. And after they verify that information, the next thing you want to do once you put that stuff securely up is you want to have your thieves cleaner in your hand. Because you'll be going on a jumbo jet, you'll be going on a real plane, not one of these express jets, you will not have to worry about, having to check your carry-on regardless of the size, because they're large enough to be able to accommodate that. So that's not going to be a concern for you. But what is going to be a concern for you is being able to get that in your hand. Now, if you are going even on an express jet, it's even more reason why you want to make sure you have an airplane survivor kit. Because in a very short period of time, most people are going to try their very best not to be sick before they go on an exotic trip like to Paris or Israel. But if you're just going back home to grandma's house we go, you don't know who's going to be on that plane. And more than likely, they could care less whether or not they have the pneumonia and the contagious kind. They don't care about that. So you could possibly be sitting by someone who's completely contagious and contaminated. And you can find yourself carrying whatever they have with you. So that's even more reason why you want to disinfect your area. Also, I would imagine, I have not looked this up, but I would imagine that being that an express jet can be somewhere within 2 or 3 hours as opposed to 10 or 12 hours, I would imagine that they get a whole lot more people going in and out, which means a whole lot more disinfecting that's going to need to take place. If you haven't seen my 5 must-haves, the one thing I mentioned there is the fact that airplanes, it's a hidden secret how often they actually disinfect those seats, the tables that you eat on, the magazines, or the flyer, the nice little safety flyer that you're having to open so that you can follow along with the flight attendant. These things are not cleaned on a regular basis. People come on and people go off, just like you will go on the plane and you will go off the plane. So keeping that in mind, I want you to realize why it is so vitally important that you disinfect your area for yourself, because it has not been pre-done for you. I just want to make that clear. So I want to paint the very vivid image for you of you sitting in a seat, because the very first thing you're going to use is that disinfectant spray that needs to be in your hand, and you're only going to have about 3 seconds to do it. Because I assure you, if you're one of the first ones going on, unless you're the last person going on, there are going to be people who are going to be waiting to get past you. And you really don't want to hear, excuse me, I'm trying to get to my seat, so many times. So you want to already have your spray bottle in your hand. It's only a 2-ounce bottle because you can only carry 2 ounces on a plane. And I assure you, there's a list of no-nos. So if you got a favorite shampoo and it's in a bottle that's more than 2 ounces, buddy, unless you're wanting to get rid of it, you better check it. So everything that I am offering comes in travel size so that you won't have to have any issues when you're going past security. We want you to be able to use whatever we provided for you. So this 2-ounce bottle is going to be just what you need. But make sure you take the cap off, put it someplace secure, because you're going to need it later because you're going to put it back. Because remember, just like you're going somewhere on a plane, you'll be coming back on a plane more than likely. So you want to make sure you have enough to take you where you're going and to bring you back home. So when you get your spray out, when you get to your seat, the very first thing you want to do is you want to spray one time on the head seat where you'll be sitting, and then spray one time towards the body. But try to make sure you're moving the spray bottle as you spray so that it disseminates towards that whole back area. And then you're probably not going to have enough space to do your seat, but I highly recommend that you spray that seat down. And you can wait. You can actually get, it'll be a little cramped, but you can actually get into the seat before you sit down, but get into your area and spray a couple times before you sit. And then you're going to want to spray down the handles where you're going to be putting your hands, and where you're going to be laying down your hand rest. You want to make sure that's sprayed. You're going to want to make sure that you spray down your seatbelt, because I don't even know if they ever disinfect that. But just in case they don't, the bottom line is something you're going to be touching regularly, especially that little silver buckle. And you're going to also have to adjust it. So just spray it down. It won't take much. You just need to have a light mist, because the one thing you don't want to do is have it too wet. You're just trying to sanitize the area. You're just trying to let the bugs know you're wanting to kill it, and you don't want it to be attached to you. So just spray it down really good, and then have a seat. Now, as far as it comes to the handles and stuff, don't worry about how wet they are, because in your kit, I have provided for you 4 thieves wipes. Okay? Now, what you want to do with these wipes, and the reason why I provided 4 is because I just imagine you're probably not going to travel alone. Most people are going to travel at least with some significant other. So, just to be kind, I made sure I have enough for both of you. So what you want to do is you can take that same wipe. The first thing I would say you do, because you've already sprayed down your armrest, I would say before you put your hands on your armrest, let that stuff saturate in there a little bit. Take your wipe. Make sure the first thing you wipe down and sanitize is that table. You want to make sure that you clean it really good, everything around it, inside and out of it. Then you want to take it and you want to wipe, if you're sitting near the window seat, you want to wipe around that area right there. You want to get the window, you want to get all of that area, because you just don't know if you might sleep at night and your head is laying right against it. You want to make sure it's covered. You want to also make sure you wipe the top where you have your fans that you're going to be twisting, to get to your desired air level, as well as the lights, which you'll be turning on and off at your leisure. You want to make sure these things are wiped. You want to make sure you wipe down the safety instructions, because again, we don't know when that's been wiped. So you want to wipe it down before you get your hands all over it. And because more than likely you would have touched something in the process that could have germs before you wiped any of this other stuff down, I've also included a waterless hand purifier, Thieves by Young Living, which is absolutely awesome, because this stuff, it does not have the same drying spell that a lot of your hand sanitizers have, because it has aloe vera in it, so it actually helps to keep the moisture in your skin. So you will absolutely love it. You'll love the smell of it, and you'll love the feel of it, because it is saturated in thieves and peppermint oil. So it will make the plane just smell awesome, at least your area of it. Okay. So this is what is in your survivor kit, your airplane survivor kit, and just as actual thank you for shopping with me sort of deal, I even threw in something for your beauty rest. So I made sure that you have something for your eyes so that you can sleep well as you enjoy your time on the plane. So that is for your basic airplane survivor kit. Now, if you are anything like me and you have a compromised immune system in any way, then you're going to want to go for the premium survivor kit. In other words, you're that person who you can just look at someone who's sick and you catch it. Okay? If that is you, then please spend the extra money. It is well worth it for you to get the premium survivor kit. In the premium survivor kit, you're going to get everything that I just discussed for the basic kit. But in addition to that, you're going to get free samples of Thieves Oil, Peace and Calming, and lavender. And the reasons why you're going to get those samples is because with the Thieves Oil, you're going to need that to put in your USB diffuser that I will be also putting in your premium kit. Now, this USB diffuser may not help you if you're on the express jet, because most of the time those are short flights and they don't usually have all the advanced accommodations, such as having a USB plug-in or having a regular plug-in. Now, this is not to say that even your jumbo jet may not have this, but more than likely it will. More of your more modern ones usually has access so that people can plug in and they can either listen to their iPad or iPod or laptop, any of those things. If it has a USB plug-in, you can plug this bad boy in, and you're going to want to do it. It comes with a little dropper so that you can actually add the oils to it. So you can open up, just snap that thing open, just paper, your sample open, squeeze a little wedgie on it so that you can add your sample oils into your diffuser. Now, once you put it in your diffuser, you can actually set your USB diffuser. It has some settings, so you can choose between 30, 60, and 90-second intervals. Now, my recommendation would be 90-second intervals. You want to make sure that those oils last as long as you can get it to last. You know what I'm saying? So you do that first. And then you just breathe easy. So after you feel confident that, okay, any disease is already said, okay, we're going to have to go around her. We can't get to her. Then you may find yourself wanting to relax. I mean, some people just really don't like being in planes. And the longer you get there, the more edgy you can become. I consider you in this kit. So for those of you who have a problem relaxing when you're traveling in the friendly skies, I have also provided another sample. The sample that I provide, it would be either peace and calming or lavender. Actually, I'll take that back. I'm not going to give you peace and calming. And the reason I'm not going to give you peace and calming is it's a little bit more dense oil. It has a fatty oil connected to it, and we don't want to clog up the USB diffuser. It's not really recommended to use oils that have fatty oils in it because it can clog up your diffuser. So instead of the peace and calming, I'm going to provide you with lavender. Lavender has an awesome smell, and it will relax you. You will be able to sleep, and you'll be able to get nice and snug, put on your eye mask, and just rest easy on the plane. So you'll have the things that you need to make your travel comfortable. And the third thing that I'm going to put in there, I'm going to put 3 samples. It's going to be lavender, thieves, and then it's going to also be peppermint. Peppermint also has a lot of the antiviral, antibacterial, antiparasitic properties as a thieves, and you'll probably run out of that thieves pretty quickly, but that's what you want to start off with because of the powerful blend of oils that are in it to really just let the bugs know you're not having it. But you may want to come back around to your peppermint. Do you feel like your throat's getting a little sore, getting a little groggy, or you're just getting a little irritated because of the things that's going on, or you feel like you just need to be alert? The peppermint oil is excellent because after you've gotten your rest, you want to be alert, but you don't want to be edgy. So the peppermint oil will help you to be that. You're probably going to be getting a little bit hungry. You might be past the snack time, or you might be past the one meal that they give you, and the peppermint oil will also curb your appetite. So it'll help you make it until you get that last stretch in. So, again, like I said, I had you in mind because I had me in mind when I was preparing for my own trip. So that your plane ride would be comfortable and it will be free of disease. So if you are interested in Young Living oils, if you are not familiar with Young Living oils, if you are interested in applying more ways to use oils in your life, then I highly recommend that you join me on Google+. I have the Oil Cafe where you will find recipes, find ideas. You'll find all sorts of ways that you can incorporate these oils and research that I've done on these oils that you can start incorporating in your life. Because this is just travel, but I mean, oils are for life. So that's me on Google+. If you are on Facebook, you can find me at Essential Treasures 24/7. Like my page and you'll be kept abreast of all of the new information that I'm constantly uploading, from recipes with oils to recipes, period. As well as research and any new findings, any benefits of the oil, anything that I've used myself and how it's benefited me. just anything that has to do with essential oils. Any of the events that I will have, because I plan on having clinics where I'll teach people how to use essential oils in your smoothies, and as well as other recipes and safety. Anything you need to know about oils, including how to safely use oils, which oils you can use internally, which oils you can use externally, which oils you can use aromatically, all the different benefits of oils. So if you're on Facebook, Essential Treasures 24/7, like my page and you'll be abreast of that. If you are on YouTube, you want to tune into my channel and become a subscriber, because I will be continuously uploading information that will be beneficial to you about essential oils. We have just scratched the surface, and all we're talking about is getting on the plane. I mean, you have a whole trip to enjoy. So trust me, you're going to want to see the next segment where I discuss what oils you want to make sure you're packing in your bag. Because there are 15 oils that you would like to have and want to have, just because, just in case, and that you can use regularly every day. From dental hygiene to just keeping your skin moisturized and being able to get a good night's sleep. Because, you know, it's hard to sleep when you got so much that you can see, but we do need to rest. So, you know, even with that, we just have to make sure we make that time and we bring our body down to be able to appreciate that. So I do have, like I said, 15 oils that I make sure that I'm going to personally travel with myself, because you just never know what situation you're going to run into. And these oils are well-rounded oils that you can use for multiple different ways. I mean, imagine you could go somewhere and get sick. You know, you might get nauseated. You might eat something that doesn't agree with you. You need to know what oils you should have in your pocket so that you can handle that. Or, you know, when you're on vacation, you know, what's a diet? I mean, what's a specially configured plan for how I should eat so that I can stay healthy? I mean, that can go out the window. So knowing that, there are some oils that you can take that will help to keep your blood sugar regulated, just in case you have a little bit too much sugar in your diet. All those things you will find out about. But you have to be subscribed to the channel so that you can see and be aware of when the next video will post. If all else fails and you can't remember anything else from this video, make sure you remember my webpage, because the webpage will connect you to all the other outlets. So if you by any chance just happen to forget the webpage address on Facebook, the Google Plus collection or cafe, the YouTube channel, then remember this website that will be posted for you. That website will make sure that you have access to everything you need so that you can be ready for wherever you may go. So I appreciate you flying with me. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed vacation. Please feel free to comment on my page or in YouTube. If you order your kit, your airplane survivor kit, and it has helped you and you were able to have a wonderful trip, you were able to come back, fight against all of the sickness and disease that was trying to come your way. Oh my goodness, just let me know all of the testimonies, because I know they're going to be wow and they're going to be amazing. Just share with me how these oils have blessed you and benefited you. And I'm sure everyone else will love to hear. And if you have some oils that I may not have mentioned, or you have your own recipes that you would like to keep me aware of, I would love to hear from you. So whatever it is you want to say concerning your oils, or how it's been blessing to you, or how it's been beneficial for you, just dialogue with me. We'd love to hear from you, and I hope and pray that you have a wonderful vacation. Shalom.